Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB and today's the 25th of June 2026. Unfortunately, Satoshi, the price of Bitcoin in the global cryptocurrency market has gone from bad to worse, and there are two reasons for this. The primary reason, Satoshi, is that a derivative-driven sell-off has actually triggered $160 million in Bitcoin liquidation, and this has forced leverage position to unwind, and along with that, Satoshi, Tesla shares has been going down as well as in it. Now, do you think because of these reasons, the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies have fallen down?
George, those things directly create volatility because investors get nervous. When we see big liquidations and major stocks drop, people pull money out of riskier assets like crypto, which drives the price down further. It's mostly about confidence.
You're absolutely spot on, Satoshi, regarding the confidence, because if you look at investor sentiment, things have actually gone from bad to worse, and the market sentiment right now is extreme fear. As a matter of fact, Satoshi, we do have a matrix that does give us a very strong assessment as to what the investor confidence is, and this causes the crypto ETF and outflows. Now, unfortunately, guys, since the last 24 hours, the outflows is dominating, and it is almost $500 million mark. Definitely not looking great, and because of that, Satoshi, the price of Bitcoin is almost half of what it was in October 2025, so things are definitely not looking great. But here's the thing, Satoshi, ships are flowing via Straits of Hormuz, so that definitely is a good thing. So hopefully in the next few days and probably in the next weeks, things might definitely be reflecting positive not just for the global market, even for the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now, the only message I'd like to tell our listeners is, at a macro level, things are definitely shaping better than ever before. And talking about investor confidence, Satoshi, the first news that we're going to be talking about is regarding BlackRock. And check this out, they are suggesting their investors to allocate roughly around 1 to 2% of the allocations in Bitcoin. Now, BlackRock advising this definitely is a massive deal, isn't it, Satoshi?
BlackRock advising that definitely marks a significant shift in institutional perspective, potentially bringing a lot more confidence to the market. Despite the current fear we're seeing with those outflows, that kind of move from a player like them could be a big catalyst. It's interesting to watch that dynamic play out alongside the broader trends.
And talking about trends, Satoshi, one of the biggest trends that is circulating since the last few years, this is about prediction market and the CBOE guys. They're debuting the prediction market, so in today's episode we'll definitely go and delve deeper into this. Now the next is Satoshi is an interesting news, and this is connected to sheets of cryptocurrencies, and this is done by Department of Justice. So in today's episode we'll definitely go and discuss what this news is all about, because the Department of Justice, Satoshi, they have seized cryptocurrencies from human infrastructure. So in today's episode we'll definitely go and delve deeper into this. Now the final news for today, Satoshi, we're going to be talking about is connected to Mika and OpenPaid guys. They have secured Mika license, and in the episode that we released 2 days ago, we talked about a stablecoin that did actually get Mika license. So it looks like a lot of institutions, firms, as well as businesses, they're working on regulations in the European market. So really interesting development. So it looks like, Satoshi, we have quite a lot of interesting things to cover in today's episode, and like we do in every Blockchain DXB podcast, we will be looking at 2 news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Do you want to tell our listeners, Satoshi, what are the 2 news you're going to be discussing later on in today's episode?
George, in today's episode, we'll delve deeper into those 2 UAE news headlines. Invenium to acquire Mantra, combining tokenized asset infrastructure with private market data, and the AI Economy Media Award organized by the Dubai Center for Artificial Intelligence. We'll examine both of these in detail.
We definitely will, and regarding the AI Economy Media Award, I'm pretty much sure it's definitely an important one. So looks like, Satoshi, we have quite a lot of interesting things to cover, isn't it, in today's episode. But before we do that, a quick word from our sponsors. Hey everyone, this episode is powered by a new sponsor, that is Amana, and they are the region's first and fastest growing regulated all-in-one trading and investing app. So look, guys, whether you're looking into investing in US stocks like Apple or Tesla, or mega giants like ADNOC or Salik, Amana puts the financial markets on your fingertips. It includes gold, foreign exchange, ETFs, futures, commodities, and guess what, guys? They have over 375 cryptocurrencies, and this makes them the biggest crypto selection in the region. Now for the Blockchain DXB listeners, guys, if you want to go and build long-term wealth without thinking about it every day, explore Amana's pre-built auto investment plans, and all you have to do is set your monthly budget, choose your preferred asset category, and let Amana automate the investing for you. Zero fees, zero lockups, 100% customizable. And here's the thing, guys, funding your account is easier than ever. You can fund your account with Apple Pay, Google Pay, credit cards, instant bank deposits, and even crypto wallets. No friction and no hassles. And the best part is, guys, let's say if you need support, you would absolutely love Amana for this, because they offer 24/6 human customer service, as well as a personalized sales support, real people, real help, and the customer support is in English as well as in Arabic. And for the Blockchain DXB listener and community, guys, I do have something really exclusive for you. What you can do is register with Amana using the code Blockchain DXB, or you can also use the link that is in the show notes below. And here's the best part, guys. Once you register, fund your account with a minimum of $100 and at least go ahead and make one trade, and then you'll receive a $100 trading bonus credit to your account the following month. But look, guys, it's real important to note, the bonus is non-withdrawable. It is there to help you trade and learn. So look, guys, if you're looking for a transparent, powerful and easy to use app, that's Amana for you. So what are you waiting for, guys? Download the app now, or you can also visit the website that is amana.app, and don't forget to use the code Blockchain DXB. And Amana, guys, is all markets one app. Next, guys, I'm happy to announce that Blockchain DXB is the official media partner with one of the OGs in the cryptocurrency and blockchain event space, and that is Blockchain Futuristic Conference taking place in Florida this year, as well as ETH Women taking place simultaneously. And trust me, guys, this is an event that you don't want to miss, isn't it? Because for the very first time, North America's most immersive Web3 event is heading to the United States of America, and the Blockchain Futurist Conference and ETH Women event is actually taking place between the 5th and 6th of November. And the location is absolutely stunning, guys. It is taking place at Guitar Hotel at Hard Rock, which is in Hollywood, Florida. That's right, guys. Palm trees, panels, and the biggest mind in blockchain and cryptocurrency is all in one place. So there will be multi-stage panels, NFT galleries, DeFi showcases, hand-on tech demos, metaverse experiences, even outdoor VIP cabanas, and quite a lot more. And the Guitar Hotel at Hard Rock, guys, is one of the most iconic venues in the country. So look, guys, if you're in the Web3 space, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, or even artificial intelligence space, or just want to do some serious networking, this is the place that you got to be. And to all of you Blockchain DXB listeners, guys, we have something really interesting for you, because you can get a 25% off the tickets. So just use the code DXB25, and the link to the event as well as the code is in the show notes below. And as an official media partner, I'll be doing exclusive live coverage, interviews, behind the scenes access, and I will be spotlighting some of the most exciting projects shaping the future of decentralized finance tech. So if you're at the venue, guys, definitely come and say hi. Maybe we can catch up for a coffee as well. So listen, guys, the code is DXB25, and by using this code you will be eligible for a 25% discount. And the event is taking place between the 5th and 6th of November 2025 at the iconic Guitar Hotel at Hard Rock, that is in Hollywood, Florida. And in the show notes below, guys, there's all contact details for Blockchain Futuristic Conference Florida 2025, as well as ETH Women. And look, guys, this is the future of blockchain technology brought into life. So don't just read about it. Be there and head to the website that is futuristconference.com and go ahead and use the code DXB25. So see you at the event. Next, Advanced Media. Advanced Media, guys, is the largest distributor of professional video, photo, broadcast and cinematic equipment and accessories in the Middle East and MENA region. With over 2 decades of experience, Advanced Media is now the largest distributor in the Middle East, representing more than 100 recognizable brands, including brands such as Zeiss, DJI, Hasselblad, Red and Rode. As a matter of fact, guys, the very mic that I'm recording is being sponsored by Advanced Media as well, and Advanced Media has showrooms in Saudi Arabia and services as well. Looks like they're definitely taking the Middle East by storm. And here's the beautiful thing, guys, they're taking corporate social responsibility very seriously, and they're focusing on 3 P's, that is people, planet and prosperity. Now listen, guys, if you do want to find out more information regarding the statement of corporate social responsibility, check out the website that is www.amt.tv. And here's the beautiful thing, guys, they also want to be a leader and set an example and reputation as a pioneer and member of the community. And in doing so, guys, they also have an AMT scholarship with SAE Institute in Dubai, UAE. So definitely check it out. And also, guys, Advanced Media is committed to persistently developing, organizing and hosting training workshops, seminars and community events that educate, inform and familiarize consumers with new equipment and the latest technological advances. So listen, guys, do one thing. If you do want to support this channel, go to the website that is www.amt.tv and follow the social media channels as well. All of the details are in the show notes below. Next, Startup OI is global one-tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gulf Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing, go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform, check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And finally guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet, and this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below. Now guys, since you're taking care of that, let's quickly run to the global cryptocurrency market. Now unfortunately guys, the numbers are definitely not looking great, and the global cryptocurrency market is down to $2.15 trillion. And here's the thing guys, since the last 24 hours, the volume has increased, but the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies have fallen down, which just means one thing, Satoshi, a lot of people have been dumping and selling a lot of the cryptocurrencies, isn't it? And because the volume of decentralized exchange hasn't picked up pace, am I right in saying a lot of selling is actually going on in the world of centralized exchanges?
Yes, that logic tracks. Increased volume with falling prices suggests strong selling pressure, likely concentrated on centralized exchanges while decentralized volumes are lagging. Confidence is definitely shaken. Building on that, that scenario really puts a spotlight on liquidity, as panic selling can overpower buying interest, leading to those steep drops. Market sentiment becomes the dominant driver when fundamentals take a back seat like that. It amplifies the overall risk.
That is absolutely correct, Satoshi, and because of that, if you look at the market sentiment, right now it is at extreme fear and the number associated has fallen down a lot. And here's the thing guys, as we talked about, the total cryptocurrency market has actually increased. Right now it is at $87.12 billion, but the global cryptocurrency market has fallen down. And what I really am not liking, Satoshi, is the volume of decentralized exchanges. It is only at $5.24 billion, and the total fees connected for these transactions is at $50.17 million. And here's the thing guys, the total value locked has fallen below the $70 billion mark. It is at $69.36 billion. And here's the thing guys, since the last 24 hours, a lot of activity is actually taking place in the centralized exchange world, and the decentralized to centralized exchange ratio dominance is only at 18.36%. And here's the craziest matrix, Satoshi. The outflows in the world of crypto ETFs is almost $500 million mark, $499.3 million. So based on this particular matrix, we can confidently state that the investors are not happy with what is going on, isn't it? Now, am I right in saying, Satoshi, most of the investor confidence is because of the conflict that is going on in Iran and US? And in the episode that we talked about on Monday, we did tell our listeners what is going on regarding the Iran deal. Now it is important for our listeners to understand Satoshi. We might take at least 30 to 60 days in order to get official documents regarding the peace agreement. Until then, because we are not getting clear messages, the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is impacted, and a lot of investors are not having confidence right now, isn't it, Satoshi?
George, that combination of extreme fear, the ETF outflows, and the drop in total value locked paints a clear picture of that investor dissatisfaction, especially with the geopolitical uncertainty as a factor. That lack of clarity can create a sustained drag on confidence until concrete news emerges. Investors are looking for certainty.
Now what I want you to do next, Satoshi, is I want you to read out the matrix that is connected to decentralized exchanges. So why don't you tell our listeners the top 5 platforms in the world of decentralized exchanges? And here's the thing, guys, the numbers are definitely not looking great, isn't it, Satoshi?
George, the top 5 platforms in the world of decentralized exchanges are Uniswap with 899.2 million, PancakeSwap with 655.92 million, Aerodrome with 434.47 million, Orca with 320.63 million, and BisonFi with 264.87 million.
Well, thank you so much for that, Satoshi. Now, here's the thing, guys. The volume of stable coins isn't looking that great. The volume of Circle USDC and FDUSD has picked up pace. Tether USDT's volume in comparison to the last few days has also picked up pace. And Tether USDT's volume is $74.12 billion. Circle USDC is at number 2nd with $14.44 billion. And at number 3rd is FDUSD with a 24-hour volume of $277.26 million. So here's the thing, guys. What is happening since the last 24 hours? The volume is increasing, but the prices of Bitcoin and the global cryptocurrency market is falling down. Now what I want you to do next, Satoshi, is I want you to tell our listeners what the market cap of Bitcoin is, what is going on since the last 24 hours and the dominance, and do the same thing for Ethereum as well as Binance BNB Coin for our listeners.
George, the Bitcoin market cap is $1.19 trillion, with a 24-hour volume of $39.16 billion and a dominance of 56.20%. For Ethereum, its market cap is $190.58 billion, with a volume of $13.14 billion and a dominance of 0.01%. Finally, Binance's market cap is $74.65 billion, with a volume of $1.22 billion.
Now look, Satoshi, in every Blockchain DXB podcast, we tend to look at one new matrix, isn't it? So what I want you to do is, I want you to tell our listeners what is going on in the meme coin world, because whenever there's price movement, Satoshi, meme coins are the one that gets impacted the most, isn't it? So why don't what's going on in the meme coin world and read out the matrix of the top 5 platforms as well, please.
All right, George, here's the breakdown. The total meme market cap is at $27.1 billion, and it's dipped about 8.4% recently. Dogecoin is leading with $11.44 billion, then Memecore at $3.60 billion, Shiba Inu follows at $2.51 billion, Pepe is at $1.04 billion, and Binance Life is sitting around $697.48 million.
Well, thank you so much, Satoshi. And here's the thing, guys, the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies isn't looking that great. And the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin, the price is below the $60,000 mark. It is at $59,783. And since the last 24 hours, guys, it is actually down by 4.05%. And since the last 7 days, it is down by 7.69%. Now the crazy thing is regarding Ethereum, Satoshi, because looks like there's news circulating that Ethereum Foundation, they have decided to cut 20% of the workforce in reorganization, and looks like because of that, the price of Ethereum has fallen down by 4.94% since the last 24 hours, and right now it is sitting at $1,579, and since the last 7 days, it is down to 8.77%. Binance BNB Coin, guys, is almost half of what it was in 2025. It is at $453. And since the last 24 hours, it is down by 3.74%. And since the last 7 days, it is down by 7.36%. Now, there is news circulating regarding Binance Satoshi that they have actually withdrawn their Greek Mika license, but at the same time, they are promising to remain in Europe. So, really interesting development taking place in the world of Binance. Now, unfortunately, guys, if you look at the market sentiment, right now it is at extreme fear, and the number associated is 17. It's going to be really interesting to see, guys, if we do get any positive development in the world of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. But as we talked about at the beginning of the episode, at a macro level, things are definitely looking great. And BlackRock, guys, they did put out a really bold and strong information regarding Bitcoin. And BlackRock is actually saying that Bitcoin could act as a portfolio diversifier. And here's the important thing, guys. They are suggesting a modest 1.2% allocation for investors who are in a position to handle its volatility. And they did actually put out a really interesting video via X, and they very strongly believe that Bitcoin's unique characteristics and low correlation with traditional assets may help improve long-term risk adjustment returns. And BlackRock guys are also seeing growing demand for younger investors, with millennials and Gen Z significantly more likely to own cryptocurrencies. And the asset manager BlackRock has highlighted Bitcoin's role in attracting the new generation of clients as digital assets continue to gain mainstream adoption, isn't it? Now look guys, YX Michael Gates, who's the managing director of BlackRock, did actually put out a really strong video regarding the 1 to 2% allocation. Now how significant is this new Satoshi when Michael Gates, the managing director of BlackRock, does actually suggest a modest 1 to 2% allocation for investors on Bitcoin? This, according to me, is a massive news, isn't it?
George, I hear what you're focusing on. It is significant that BlackRock is publicly discussing Bitcoin as a portfolio diversifier and suggesting a 1 to 2% allocation. Their emphasis on its unique characteristics and potential correlation benefits definitely paints a different picture in the market. This strong advocacy from BlackRock could significantly encourage other major institutional players to reconsider Bitcoin, potentially normalizing its inclusion in diversified portfolios. It also adds weight to the argument that Bitcoin is maturing beyond a speculative asset and is being viewed more for its potential hedging properties within a broader strategy. Lastly, such an endorsement could positively influence regulatory conversations by providing a major financial institution's vote of confidence in its practical utility.
You're absolutely spot on, Satoshi. Firms like BlackRock, at one point of time they were massive detractors of Bitcoin. They completely dismissed Bitcoin, but now Larry Fink and BlackRock, they are one of the biggest advocates of Bitcoin, isn't it? As a matter of fact, even if you know President Donald Trump, he was not a fan of Bitcoin, but now he's a massive advocate of Bitcoin as well. So it looks like Bitcoin is definitely a long way ahead. Now let's go ahead and discuss the next year Satoshi. And this is a really interesting news because the US Department of Justice, they have seized infrastructure linked to Component-based owning group, and they are accusing its subsidiaries of helping launder billions of dollars from crypto scams, fraud as well as other criminal activities. And authorities at the US Department of Justice guys are saying that the platform has facilitated movement and concealment of funds stolen through South Asian scam operations. And the FBI, that is the Federal Bureau of Investigation, along with the IRS, that is Internal Revenue Services, are currently investigating the case as part of Operation Riptide, and there is going to be a broader crackdown on cybercriminal and fraud network. Now it's important to note, Satoshi, this particular action follows the previous US Treasury measures that identify any group as a major money laundering concern. This news is really important, isn't it? Now my big question is, Satoshi, what happens to the seized Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies? Does it actually remain with the US Department of Justice, or does it actually go back to the victims, or is it too early to tell at this point of time?
George, concerning that Department of Justice action, it is a broad crackdown on a group allegedly tied to significant cybercrime and money laundering. Their investigation, including seizing infrastructure, indicates a deliberate effort to disrupt these networks. Regarding the assets, typically seized crypto goes through a legal process which can eventually lead to forfeiture, and the funds could be used for restitution to victims, though that depends on the specifics of each case. This move represents a significant milestone in their Operation Riptide.
Now here's the thing, Satoshi, if let's say Bitcoin has been seized, it would be great if it does actually go to Bitcoin Reserve in the United States of America, isn't it? Let's see what the future to these seized cryptocurrencies are. Now let's go ahead and discuss next year Satoshi, and this is connected to prediction market, and looks like Satoshi, a lot of firms, they are now focusing a lot on prediction market, but this time it is the CBOE, and they have launched the first prediction market platform. And here's the thing guys, they are offering binary contracts tied to S&P 500 index, and traders can bet on whether the index will close above or below a specific price level. And more importantly guys, they can do that by simply using yes or no contracts. Now the products are initially available to interactive brokers, with plan to expand to Charles Schwab and other brokerages. Now this particular move, Satoshi, reflects growing demands of prediction markets, as traditional finance firms are now entering the sector. Now do you want to briefly explain to our listeners, Satoshi, what is a prediction market? And as I understand, prediction markets is currently not available in United Arab Emirates, isn't it?
Alright, George. Prediction markets are basically platforms where people can bet on the outcome of future events, like whether a stock index will close above or below a set price. You use yes or no contracts, and the price of those contracts reflects the market's consensus on the probability of that event happening. It's interesting that major firms like CBOE are getting involved now, highlighting that growing demand you mentioned. And you're right, availability does vary by region, with it currently not being accessible in your area.
Well, thank you so much for the explanation, Satoshi. Now let's go to discuss some interesting news all the way from Europe. And OpenPay, guys, they have secured its MiCA license, and this is for regulated stablecoin infrastructure. And here's the thing, guys, the license allows OpenPay to offer regulated crypto services across European Economic Area, and this is under a single framework. And now businesses can access services including stablecoin payments, custody wallet infrastructure, and also fiat to crypto conversions. Now regarding Open Satoshi, it is important to know that they process over $250 billion in annualized volume for more than 1,100 businesses, including Kraken, eToro, OKX, and also BTC too. Now how important is this new Satoshi, and what is the significance of this news at a macro level? And then, why don't you also tell our listeners, how can average individual users benefit because of this announcement?
George, securing that MiCA license is quite significant for OpenPay. It allows them to provide regulated stablecoin infrastructure across the entire European Economic Area, simplifying access for businesses and integrating traditional finance with crypto services. On a macro level, this standardization builds confidence and makes crypto more accessible for enterprises handling large volumes, like those 1,100 businesses OPay serves. For average users, this can translate to more reliable and faster payment options when dealing with businesses using their platform, as the underlying infrastructure becomes more secure and regulated.
Now this new Satoshi definitely sounds great from a business level, but look, are we moving away as an industry as to why Bitcoin was created? Cause look, Satoshi, Bitcoin by definition is peer-to-peer electronic cash system, isn't it? But now, because there's a stablecoin entity involved, firstly you have an issuer, and secondly now you're getting it regulated, and you're getting licensed to go and operate it. So am I right in saying, now as an industry we are going further away from why Bitcoin was created? Now look, this news at a macro level definitely sounds great, but if you look at it, we are going back to the traditional finance world, and we are masking stablecoin issuers with that of bankers in it. So me personally, despite it being a positive news, not a fan of it, purely from a philosophical level. What is your assessment regarding this?
George, your philosophical perspective is very valid. There's definitely a tension between the original vision of Bitcoin as a decentralized peer-to-peer system and the current trend towards integration with regulated centralized entities. While things like MiCA licensing provide stability and access for mass adoption, you could argue that it does, in a sense, recreate structures the original technology sought to bypass. It highlights the ongoing debate on whether mass adoption and practical utility necessarily mean compromising on strict philosophical purity. It's really a fundamental trade-off being negotiated. Was there a particular aspect of that conflict you were thinking about most?
Yeah, the fact that now there's a centralized entity, and along with the centralized entity being involved, now it is regulated as well as in it. So according to me, look, there is a possibility sneakily we might be heading into central bank digital currency world as well. That is what my honest opinion is, Satoshi.
George, your concern about potentially moving towards a system similar to central bank digital currencies by accepting more regulation and centralized entities is a reasonable connection to make. As more aspects of the industry become organized and sanctioned, it could gradually align with broader plans for digitizing national currencies. That's definitely a key trend to watch as the ecosystem develops. Your perspective provides a useful critique of that progression.
Well, anyway, Satoshi, unfortunately, there's not much we can do regarding it, isn't it? So these were some macro-level newscasts on the Bitcoin, blockchain, cryptocurrency, and artificial intelligence world. Now let's do one thing, Satoshi. Let's go ahead and look at two news from Dubai, UAE, and the Middle East. Now the first news, according to me, is a really interesting news. And Invenium Capital Partners, guys, they are planning to acquire Mantra and its affiliated entities. Now this acquisition follows Invenium's $20 million strategic investment in Mantra in August of 2025, and both companies, guys, previously worked together to launch Invenium chain in May of 2026, and regarding this deal, it is expected to close by the month end, 30th of June 2026 to be precise. Now it is important to note, Satoshi, that Mantra chain, its token, as well as its ecosystem will continue operating normally after its acquisition, and more importantly, Mantra community will become part of the wider Invenium ecosystem, and this acquisition, guys, aims to combine tokenized asset infrastructure with AI-ready private market data. And so as Invenium is concerned, guys, they very strongly believe that AI and real-world assets tokenizations are increasingly connected. Now regarding Invenium chain, Satoshi, it is essentially a layer 2 blockchain built on top of Mantra's chain. An Invenium chain stores cryptographic proof of private market data, while at the same time keeping sensitive information off-chain. And here's the thing, guys, the chain inherits security from Mantra to interchain security, and its main network launched just a few months ago, 13th of May 2026, proving that the technology works at scale. Now the Mantra brand will remain an important part of combined company, and the Mantra team will continue operating under NVIDIA's ownership. Now Mantra Chain, the Mantra token, Mantra Finance and Mantra USD will remain key products, and NVIDIA Satoshi saying that the merger will help accelerate digital private market adoption globally, and so far as the chain is concerned, it is designed to provide trusted infrastructure for autonomous AI agents, and Mantra guys does hold a Vara virtual asset service provider license in Dubai, which allows them to offer virtual asset exchange and investment related services. Now what do you make of this particular news, Satoshi? And am I right in saying, Satoshi, when you talk about Bitcoin, open blockchain, ideally we should not be seeing any acquisition or mergers, isn't it? Because it clearly states that there are two centralized entities involved, both on Mantra sides as well as NVIDIA side, that has gone ahead and made this decision, isn't it? So me personally, I'm a bit shocked that this news is actually taking place, but why don't you tell our listeners firstly what do you make of this news, and then why don't you tell our listeners why acquisitions and mergers are an upfront no when you talk about cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology?
George, this acquisition really highlights how companies are looking to bridge the gap between traditional finance and blockchain, especially with real-world asset tokenization. It seems like the Mantra team will keep operating under the new ownership, maintaining their key products like the token and finance platforms. You're correct that VNVM expects this to speed up adoption of digital private market infrastructure. And to your second point, you raise an important point. The philosophical debate about decentralized networks being fundamentally different from centralized business models is ongoing. Many Bitcoin purists would agree that acquisitions and mergers move away from that ideal, as it introduces centralized control. Is there another angle of this situation you'd like to discuss?
From Mantra side, Satoshi, who is the one who has actually gone and made the decision that NVIDIA will go and acquire them, I'm pretty much sure there's a centralized team that has gone ahead and made the decision, isn't it? Now look guys, these news definitely sound great at a business level, but when you talk about why Bitcoin was created precisely for this reason, isn't it? And by definition, Bitcoin is peer-to-peer electronic cash system with no centralized entity involved. And after you share your opinion, Satoshi, I do have another question that is connected to NVNM chain.
George, typically those decisions are made by the leadership teams within each company, like the board of directors or key executives, rather than the decentralized developer community. So yes, it's likely a centralized decision-making process on Mantra's side. And to your point, that's the exact tension many people see, highlighting the contradiction with Bitcoin's original purpose. I'm ready for your question about NVM chain whenever you are.
Now regarding NVNM chain, Satoshi, based on this news, am I right in saying because there's a centralized entity involved, they can go ahead and do double spending, they can go ahead and rewrite the history of the chain as well?
George, your concern about potential control and rewriting history based on having a centralized entity is a common point of discussion with these models. Theoretically, if an entity gains enough dominance over the network's block production, those kinds of actions could become possible. It fundamentally depends on how the governance and network security are designed specifically for VNVM chain and whether adequate decentralization is maintained.
Well, according to me, this is definitely a red flag, but definitely interesting news, I guess. Now let's do one thing, Satoshi. Let's go ahead and discuss the next news. And this is regarding an event that was done by the Dubai Center for Artificial Intelligence, also called as DCIA. And here's the thing, guys, they did have an AI Economy Media Award, and the event was organized with Dubai Media Academy, a strategic partner. And here's the thing, guys, it brought together media professionals, journalists, decision makers, and AI experts, and the Dubai Center for Artificial Intelligence guys announced the new AI Economy Media Award during the event, and the award aims to recognize high-quality media content focused on AI and the economy. And the event, guys, explored how artificial intelligence is transforming the media industry. And the discussion, guys, focused on the future of content creation in the world of artificial intelligence, and speakers highlighted the economic impact of AI across industries. And the event examined how AI is changing the traditional media roles and careers, and participants learned about new skills needed for future media landscape. And DCI, guys, also showed its role in accelerating adoption across Dubai. And the Dubai Center for Artificial Intelligence Executive Director, that is Saeed Al-Falasi, emphasized supporting media professionals with AI knowledge and tools. And they also said its goal is to ensure AI benefits people of Dubai and improve services. And Dubai Media Academy, guys, highlighted the importance of media and technology partnerships. And the Academy stressed the responsible and effective use of artificial intelligence in media. And Dubai Center for Artificial Intelligence, guys, at the event presented key initiatives including the AI Government Use Cases Bank, AI Baseline Study, and Dubai AI Seal. And the event also featured a new study on AI's impact on Dubai's workforce and demographics. And the initiative, guys, supports Dubai's vision of becoming a global leader in innovation, artificial intelligence, and future-ready development. So this, according to me, was definitely a massive event. What do you make of this particular event, Satoshi?
George, that sounds like a pretty substantial event, especially with strategic partnerships like the Dubai Media Academy. Launching an AI Economy Media Award, bringing together professionals and experts, shows a clear focus on pushing the conversation forward and recognizing innovation. The fact they were discussing the future of content creation, economic impact, and necessary skills indicates a comprehensive approach, aiming to keep Dubai at the forefront of AI development.
Now, Satoshi, let's say if you were to give any feedback, or if you do like to see something different at the next event, what advice you'd like to give them?
George, that sounds like a very comprehensive event, bringing together professionals and experts to focus on AI's impact on the media economy. The launch of the Media Award and discussions on future content creation really highlight a forward-thinking approach. If I were to offer feedback, perhaps for future events, they could place even more emphasis on practical, hands-on workshops for mastering specific AI tools, giving participants directly applicable skills. Also, dedicating more time to exploring different ethical frameworks for AI in media may provide valuable depth. Overall, it seems like a great platform for progress.
Well, thank you so much for your feedback, Satoshi. Really appreciate this. So these are the news guys on the Bitcoin blockchain, cryptocurrency, and artificial intelligence world from blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Now let's do one thing, Satoshi. Let's go ahead and kickstart with the Ask Me Anything series, where listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. So why don't you do one thing, Satoshi? Let's go ahead and kickstart with the Ask Me Anything series, right?
Sure, George. Let's go ahead and kickstart the Ask Me Anything series. I'm curious to check what questions listeners have in store for us. Hey everyone, it is Satoshi from the Blockchain DXB podcast, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, metaverse. And we have a question from Ryan who asks, are prediction markets the next major growth area for traditional finance and crypto?
The answer to that seems like it is yes, isn't it, Ryan? Because since the last week or so, I'm seeing so many news coming up regarding prediction market, and CBOE getting into prediction market definitely seems like a massive deal. And am I right in saying, Satoshi, because with the election that did actually take place in 2025, the whole prediction market has definitely got a lot of bump. And here's the thing, wherever President Donald Trump is involved, it does actually start a new industry altogether. So what is your assessment regarding prediction markets, Satoshi? Is this a new trend that we are seeing right now? Or has this been existing for a very long time, and it is only now because of social media people are getting aware about this?
Well, George, prediction markets have actually been around for a while, but there's definitely been a burst of interest lately. The recent elections and things like the CBOE launch have definitely given them a big boost, probably partly driven by social media getting people more aware. It's not brand new, but it does seem to be having a moment.
Now, other platforms, Satoshi, particularly in the cryptocurrency world, that only works in cryptocurrencies, I do know Kalshi is one of them, but other than that, are there any famous prediction markets that only works in cryptocurrencies?
Well, George, Kalshi is definitely focused on event markets, often with a blend of finance and crypto. In the crypto-specific realm, platforms like Polymarket are pretty popular for using cryptocurrencies to place bets on all sorts of things, including crypto prices or external events. There are also places like Gnosis Protocol, which has been foundational in building prediction market technology, though sometimes that involves interacting with different layers of their system. Are you interested in centralized versus decentralized platforms?
To be honest, Satoshi, I'm not interested in either, because look, in United Arab Emirates, if I'm not mistaken, we do not have access to prediction markets. So if any of the listeners are in United Arab Emirates or in the neighboring areas, I would definitely not recommend them to use that, and make sure you go out and follow the rules and regulations. Now, what do you think is the main reason, Satoshi, prediction markets are not allowed in United Arab Emirates? Is it because of Sharia law? Or are there any other laws that are in place? I'm pretty much sure gambling is prohibited as well, isn't it?
You're making a really important point, George, emphasizing local regulations and the importance of adhering to them. Regarding the UAE, the main reasons are often rooted in the prohibition of gambling and specific laws governing financial markets and speculative activities. Sharia law's viewpoint on gambling plays a central role, leading to a regulatory environment that generally disallows these platforms. Listeners should always respect the rules of their jurisdiction.
You're absolutely correct, Satoshi. Listeners as well as users in United Arab Emirates, they should definitely respect and follow the rules and regulations of whichever jurisdiction they're living in. But going back to Ryan's question, Satoshi, prediction markets are definitely becoming a massive thing right now, isn't it? Now, am I right in saying, Satoshi, when you talk about prediction markets, there are more risks associated with it in comparison to, let's say, centralized exchanges as well?
Certainly, George. Prediction markets introduce specific risks like smart contract vulnerabilities and oracle problems, where the source of external data could be manipulated, on top of any market volatility. Those aren't usually the same concerns you primarily face on a centralized exchange. It's key for anyone to understand those distinctions.
Well, definitely great point, Satoshi. Really appreciate that. And definitely interesting question, Ryan. And that's about all, guys, from the Ask Me Anything Season Blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Remember, Monday to Thursdays, we have Blockchain DXB podcast. We look at the process. We look at the latest technological development. Geopolitics right now is definitely have a massive impact directly and indirectly on the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now, in the Blockchain DXB podcast, we also look at 2 news from Dubai, UAE, and the Middle East. Artificial intelligence is definitely a hot topic in the Middle East. And what you're listening to right now, guys, is the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, Metaverse. So thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.